Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Christine. I like to read dark and disturbing things, and today I have my October TBR to share with you. Let's see what I'm reading. So I know I've talked about this before, and this is not like a set in stone TBR. In fact, yeah, it's just a pile of possibilities because I am a mood reader, but I also have reading goals and want to participate in some read-alongs. So I have to like find a balance between the two. And yeah, I feel the pressure, and this is pressure I just put on myself completely, but I feel the pressure to read all of the things I want to read for October and spooky season in general. And it's just too much. There's no way. It's not humanly possible. So do I have a TBR that is doable? No, I do not. What I have is a bunch of books that I just looked through my shelves and was like, yeah, I want to read this and this and this and this. And then I was like, okay, that's enough, Christine. Okay. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. And we'll see. We'll see in the end if I get to any or all of them. First, I just wanted to mention a couple of like book clubs and read-alongs and things like that that I am going to be reading for. So these are probably a little bit more set in stone. First is Katrina Brown and her Reaper Book Club. She actually asked me to co-host along with her so we can like discuss the book when we're done sometime, at the end of the month or beginning of next month. And I am very excited that she asked me to do that. And she put a poll up on her Instagram and her YouTube, and I was very happy with the one that won, because it is a book by Christopher Triana called The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. And I read my first and only Christopher Triana book in January of this year. I read Gone to See the Riverman, and I believe I gave that 4 stars. I really did enjoy that one. So I am excited to read more by this author. And I'm going in blind, nothing but the stunning cover of a creepy graveyard. And I think it's perfect for October, and I am super excited to get to it. The next book club that I'll be following along with, hopefully I'll be able to get this because I did put it in the library because I'm trying not to buy books anymore, or not so much. But it is Edenville. This is Amy Noel's Dark Hearts book club, by the way. I don't know if I said that. And we are reading Edenville. And yeah, I put a thing in for the library. Hopefully I get it in time. Again, I'm going into this one blind. I like to go into a lot of books blind, especially when it's a book club pick, because the book's already been picked. The work has been done. I'm just going to see if I like it. I'm just along for the ride. Hopefully I have time to get to Kelsey at Slime and Slasher's book club as well. I think hers is a relatively short book, and it is called Apartment 5 is Alive, which just reminds me of that movie Short Circuit that I loved in the 80s when I was a kid. I'm sure it has nothing to do with robots coming to life, but that's what it reminds me of. And I believe I shouldn't say this, but I believe it's on KU. So if it is, I will definitely be checking that out. Oh, there is one more that I just found out about this morning, and this was from Crystal over at Fiber Artsy, and she said that, I think this is her book club that's reading this, is O.C. Daniel. I want to say OCD Daniel, but it's OC Daniel. And as someone that suffered from symptoms of OCD, and I don't want to say I had OCD because I'm sure I still have it, but not to the degree I had it when I was younger. So I thought this would be an interesting read, and I was able to get this one off Libby. So I will be listening to that one. So I felt like it has been a long time since I have read a good witchy book, and I have a pile of possibilities here of books that were just on my shelves that I would like to get to. Some of them are in my 23 to read in 2023. Some of them are not. And let's just get into them. First one is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I don't think this is a super serious witch book. I think it's more of a lighthearted fun read, and it's just under 300 pages. So maybe if I need a break in between really heavy books, this might be a good one to go to. I've only read one Rachel Harrison book so far this year, actually. I believe I read it, was Such Sharp Teeth, and I really enjoyed it. She kind of takes like a horror idea and spins it into into something else. So even though in the other book there were werewolves involved, the main idea and thing, the main plot was not totally just about werewolves. It was some family things that were going on, some like finding yourself type things. And I'm hoping that that kind of translates into this, because I like taking the idea of a horror thing and applying it to a very real life situation and kind of making those mesh. So I am excited to get to Cackle finally. The next one is one that has been on my shelves for a while, and that is Hex. I love this cover, and I think I've heard mixed reviews about this. So some people seem to really like it, some people don't. I think it's perfect for the witchy, spooky season, and I've been wanting to get to it. It is just under 400 pages, so it is a little bit chonky, so it will take some time to get through, but it is on my 23 to read in 2023, which I have been doing a really poor job at following. So I hope to get this one in there. Another one I had on my shelves was a Twisted Retreat book called Legacy Witches by Cass K. No idea what this one's about. I'm sure I did at one point, but it's witchy. And like I said, I like to go in blind. Here's one I picked up last year and then never did read. And it is quite chonky, and it's a movie adaptation, I believe. So actually, I think this is two books in one. I think that there is Hocus Pocus, like a movie adaptation or a book adaptation of the movie, and then a sequel story. And I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, the first one very closely follows the movie, and then the sequel has nothing to do with the movie sequel. It is just a story. Is it any good? You guys let me know if you've read it. I think I'm a little bit shy after reading another Disney adaptation of a movie that I really loved, and I just was not feeling it. But I'm willing to give this a shot, and it seems like October is the perfect time for that. Here is one that I am vowing to get to this month, and that is Brahms' Slewfoot. I have only read one book by Brahm, and that was Krampus, and I really, really liked that. He has amazing artwork that seems to be in every one of his books. Like, look at this creepy shit. Love it. So it is definitely, when you pick up a Brahm book, not something that I personally want to listen to. I want to see it, and I want to see the artwork. So I am making this one a priority, absolutely, to finally get to Slewfoot. I've heard so many good things about this. And two more witchy contenders are kind of not your usual witchy kind of book. One of them is The Kiss Curse, and I know what you're thinking, Christine, that is a romance book. But I read the first one in this series called The X-Hex, and I thought it was pretty cute. It was very much like a love letter to Halloween. It was a romance book that didn't take itself too seriously. It was kind of more of just a spicy witch book. And to me, if that's what I thought romance books were, I would be more into them, because it wasn't cheesy. It just was fun. So if I'm looking to shake things up, I will finally read the sequel to that, which is The Kiss Curse. And I mean, these books are always like a quick read, so I should just do it. And lastly is The Change by Kirsten Miller, sorry. That is a pet peeve of mine, and I should not do that. I think this is more of like set in today's time, and it's just like more of a magical realism type book. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I read the synopsis, but it is kind of large. Yeah, it's about 450 pages. So that's probably why I keep putting it off. But I remember reading the synopsis and thinking it sounded really interesting, and just a different type of witch book. Not everything has to be the same kind of witch. I forgot to mention, I had also included this on my 23 to read in 2023. So if I don't get to this month, I really do want to try to make an effort to get to it in November if I don't get to it in October. Like, I'm already making excuses for why I'm not going to get into this month, but being realistic. Next up is a book I'm doing a buddy read with, and that is The Chestnut Man. This has been on my shelves forever, and I don't know why. I've heard good things. I don't know why I haven't ever picked it up, But someone asked a buddy read this with me, so we are gonna get into this. I think it's been on her shelf for a while too. And apparently it is also a television show, which I was not aware of. So I would really like to read this first and then hunt down the show now that I have a little more time on my hands to watch and read things. And this is another chonker. I think it's like 500 pages. So, all right, maybe I will do well reading this month and get to all of these things. But this one is going to be a priority because I am buddy reading it. Next up is one I'm going to be prioritizing just because I'm excited for this. This is the sequel to, why is there hair in my mouth? This is the sequel to Cameron Chaney's Autumn Crow short story collection. And this is Autumn Crow High. It is so shiny. Sorry about I'm trying to get you to see the awesome artwork on this. But this is Fresh Hell. And I know I've already talked about this because I have it in my giveaway, but I'm really excited to read this. I feel like this is gonna get me just in the perfect mood, as if I'm not already there, but keep me in the perfect mood for October and Halloween and everything. So this is pretty high on my list to read. It's probably gonna be one of my first reads. I also pulled this off my shelf, and that is R.L. Stein's Halloween Party. And this is just a nice shorty. I do plan on participating in Lexi from Books with Lexi's Hallow Weekend. And I think this will be a perfect little, you know, when you're just in sprints and you want to knock something out really quick, we have this. And I think it will fit some prompts. I also have this book that I picked up from Half Price Books a few months ago. And I mean, the title, This is Halloween, and this cover, it's a short story collection, you guys. You know how I feel about short story collections. They just usually don't hit with me, but sometimes I'm surprised. So I should try to maybe like during sprints be reading one or two of these stories just to get through it. And maybe I will like it more than I think, but look at this freaking cover. Oh, it's so beautiful. I got 4 more. I'm not even counting these books because I know, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say I know I'm not going to get to them because that is just setting me up for failure. I'm going to read these. I just don't know when. Is that better? No. Okay. Let's be positive. These are all the books I'm going to read in October. Next up is another one that's been on my shelf for a while, and it's Richard Matheson's Hell House. This is the same author that wrote I Am Legend, which I read ages and ages ago, and I really liked it. I don't know anything about this. I probably did at one point, but I love the cover and it sounds interesting, and it sounds like this is a good month for that. Another one that kind of moved its way up. I bought this a few months ago, The Changeling by Victor LaValle. I have not read anything by this author yet, and I kind of hear that this is probably the way to start. So I am hoping to get to this again. If I can't squeeze it in October, I probably will do it in November. But I noticed that this was in a couple other people's TBRs for October, and I thought it would be kind of cool to read it at the same time that they do, so I can kind of see how they felt about it at the same time when I'm reading it. And then I have 2 little fun books. One of them is Small Spaces. This is I believe a middle grade, like fun horror book that is a series, and I picked up the first one. They all look really cool, and I'm excited to finally get to one of these because it's been on like my mental TBR forever. I think I even took this out from the library last year and never got to it. So no excuses. And lastly is a book, I can't remember if I got this last year or the year before, from Once Upon a Book Club. And this just looks like a cozy mystery. And this is Midnight Spells Murder, a happy camper mystery. And it has this super festive, warm and cozy looking cover. And it's a pretty short one. It's 200 pages. Oh, what's this? I guess I stuck that in there. Embrace Your Inner Witch. So yeah, this could also be a witchy book. That probably makes sense since it says spells, like witchy spells. So I could add this to my witchy pile. Again, just look at all the Halloween love on the cover of this. Whew. All right, I'm tired just going through that pile, and yeah. All right, you guys, if you've read any of these, let me know down below which ones you think I should move up on my TBR list this month. And who knows, maybe I'll be grabbing other things as well as these books. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself because when I do, then I just kind of shut down and then don't do anything. But September was kind of a crazy month for me. No, it wasn't kind of. September was a crazy month for me and I did not get to as many books as I would like. But I also want to keep in mind that reading is fun. It is not a job. It is not an obligation. It is just a thing that we do for fun and to relax and I keep wanting to say rewind. We're not rewinding. We're just relaxing. We're having a good time. We're reading what we want. We're not putting pressure on ourselves. Okay, mantra. All right, I'm done being stupid. Like I said, let me know if you've read any of these and let me know what book you're most excited to read this October, this spooky season. Like I need to put more books on my TBR. All right, I'm done babbling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you made it this far, leave me a little jack-o'-lantern. Like, can I point right? There we go. A little jack-o'-lantern emoji in the bottom, just to let me know you made it to the end. Or if you just want to leave a comment and have nothing to say, it's just nice to see your names down there to know who's hanging out with me. All right, guys, thank you so much and stay spooky.